The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixings. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Tonight, showers and thunderstorms still could pack a punch at least earlier. Temperatures overnight dropping down into the middle 60s. Chance of showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday. Our high will be right around 85. And then another chance of isolated showers and storms on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
HOS.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 86 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect it. Smith, I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
For one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field out.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Oh, my goodness. See Maverick on the controls today. Welcome to this version of Halftime. It's going to be an awesome Tuesday, June 4th. See, Unit, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. It seems like the finals have just dragged on. I mean, we need to get to that first game, man. A couple days.
We'll be here before you know it. No question about it. We got a good show for you guys today. As always, fan, crowd, participation, phone in, text in, however you want to get involved. We always appreciate it. We couldn't have this show without you guys, so thank you for listening and participating as always. We're going to have the great Chuck Barrett coming up here, second segment and third segment. And then in the second hour, we get the one and only Alyssa Orange. Talk to her a little bit about baseball season. She's going to Paris for the Olympics. How cool is that? Check in with her on that. And then in the last hour, we get Bill King. Always a joy getting Bill King on, talk a little college baseball, a little college sports. He's always got his ear to the grindstone, kind of keeping you up to date. But I'm with you, Christian. I'm ready for this NBA Finals to get here. I think it's going to be epic in every way. Any listeners out there, what you got going on? If y'all want to call in, tell us what you think about the baseball season. It's over, but now we've had a time to digest. We've had a couple hours. You kind of have the 24-hour rule, C Unit, where you don't really celebrate until you kind of just figure out. Now that we've had time to digest it, what are your thoughts? Because in my opinion, it was a successful season. We didn't get to, so to speak, cut down the nets, or you didn't make it to Omaha. We didn't get the end goal. But you had an epic performance by Hagen Smith, who just put the team on his back all year, did his thing. I brought this up a little bit yesterday. It's tough when you're a player and you want to do well. You're used to doing well, and you are the A player. You feel it, so he's hurting. You know it is, but he shouldn't hang his head. I had a guy tell me, Dedrick Poole, he's a running back from Little Rock Central, played up there at Arkansas, and we lost the game. I fumbled late in the game and was feeling upset about it. And he's like, man, don't hang your head, man. This without Hagen Smith, we wouldn't have been in this situation, is what I'm saying. It's tough as competitors You want to do your best and you want to win. But I think this baseball season, all in all, I think it was a success. I think the team did well. They didn't get their end goal, but they won the West. They competed, and injuries happen, things happen. Other teams are good too. It's hard to win. If it was easy, Christian, everybody'd be doing it.
Oh, no doubt. And we saw early this team kind of peaked. We saw what they were capable of, and then we thought we had three legit starters in our lineup, and then it kind of fizzled out. We kind of just had Hagen Smith, and that's not a recipe for a run to Omaha, having one dominant pitcher. And Dave Van Horn even said it, like, we may be an average team without Hagen Smith, and I think he's right. And with Hagen Smith, obviously the other players played a huge part in how good this team was this year, but they just kind of ran out of gas in the playoffs. And Hagen Smith had one bad inning, and that was enough to end your season theoretically. And then you come the next day, and it seems like Arkansas is going to be ready to go, and it didn't happen. So not a disappointing season, I guess you could say. It was just,
it's like reading a book, watching a movie, and you spend 2.5 hours, and then the last 17 minutes, it's like, that was the worst ending to the best movie I've ever seen. That's the season was fine. The season was good. A lot of good things happening. And then you get to the end, and it's like, well, y'all didn't even try to write the last chapter. It just kind of closed the book. That being said, what is a couple things you want to see this team improve on? Defensive side, if it is in the outfield, I don't know how. I think our defense was pretty solid. Pitching, you got to have depth. I think you see this every year, that you have a couple but you need as many as you can get, and then some bats. We have to find some bats, some guys that are just those dudes, and maybe it's just hard. Maybe it's hard to find bats, and maybe it is a little mental, because really a team this good and this talented, we did not hit the ball, and especially when it gets into timing, opportunistic. I put it like this, Christian: when you're on a football team. And you're whatever position you are, but the money down, you got the money zone, which then you have third down. That is your timely hitting. That is when you have a guy on second, you have a guy on third. That's 3rd and 4. I mean, that's it's not 3rd and 17. That's 3rd and 4. Man, you gotta get that. You gotta convert your third downs. And then when you got a guy on second or third, you got to have timely hitting. So there's some areas we can improve on. No question about it.
Yeah, and I'll start with pitching. We thought we had 3 really good starters, and that didn't come to fruition. You got to have really good pitching you can rely on if you want to make it to Omaha and win it. And, you don't want to have to go to your bullpen really early in every game. That's the ideal situation. And then on the offensive side, I mean, you want to have guys that can do it all. You want a balanced team. You don't want just guys with one skill set all trying to, like, hit a home run. It just seemed like was kind of the MO this year. I'm not saying they all hit home runs, but, like, they were all trying to, it seemed like. You want to have more guys like Casey Martin, and you think about Jax Biggers, guys like that can just get you a base hit when you really need it. And we didn't have those type of guys this year. We saw flashes with Peyton Holt, but even him, like, he hit home runs too. And when he wasn't hitting home runs, I mean, he wasn't doing a whole lot other than, hitting home run. He came up big in the regional with the home runs. Hudson White got going late, but it didn't help that Kendall Diggs kind of fizzled out. There's just a lot of things that didn't go your way, and it was just a disappointing end of the season. But this was a good team. This team was I mean, highly ranked going into the season, and they looked like they were living up to those expectations. It just didn't happen. I think maybe they peaked a little too early.
Well, and one thing too, these Arkansas Razorbacks, I got a little bit of them. We had Coach Zim on when Coach Muss was the coach of the Hogs last year. We had him on during basketball season when they were struggling. And one thing, when you have a turnover on a baseball team or a basketball team that's had success, the basketball team the last 3 years had made runs in March. This baseball team, it goes without saying, anytime there's a single digit besides your name, beside Arkansas Razorbacks single digit, you're the hunted. You everybody circles that game. You're getting everybody's best. And I don't know that the basketball team realized that. I think they kind of I don't know, they thought maybe they put this Arkansas Razorback jersey on and then it's just going to happen. And I think the baseball team does realize that. I just think teams were better than us this year. There was when it got to those last 10 games of the year, there just wasn't whatever that extra pop was. We didn't have it. We kind of fizzled out. So and that's part of it. You go back, you get better. You watch film, you self scout. You figure out what your weaknesses are. You figure out what your strengths are, and you go back and you try to find out the right formula. And that's the beauty of it. That's kind of the beauty of sport. And there's really only one winner when you think about it. When it's like, oh well, who gets to lift the trophy? Well, there's only one winner. But we won. We won a trophy. We won a West Crown, and we competed. I think they'll probably finish. What do you think, Christian? About 18th. I think that they'll be a top 20 team. So I mean, it's a successful season.
Yeah, Arkansas every year will be ranked in the top 10 as long as Dave Van Horn's the coach, and he continues to get players. But yeah, I mean, it just didn't happen this year with the talent that they had. It just didn't mesh well, and I don't know if I don't know. This team, they just weren't very hungry late in the year. It just seemed like they were feeling sorry for themselves, and I could be totally off the mark. It just seemed like.
Well, I really think we just ran into better teams. I don't think that this team didn't lack effort. This team didn't lack energy. I just think they lack talent. There's a difference between when you have a couple guys that are talented, but when it got down to it and you were playing other dudes, you could see. I mean, when you watched A&M play, you're like, you kind of look at the play, you're like, oh my goodness, we don't have a lot of those. Those are some real baseball, So you're looking at it, and I think that's just what happens when it comes down to it. The other teams are good too; they're on scholarship as well. But as far as being a successful season, I do think this was a successful season for the base. It just, you kind of, that's what I mean. Don't hang your head. You won a West Crown. What did we win? 40 games this year? 44 games this year? I mean, you crushed it. You did well. We just didn't get to that ultimate goal. And that's part of it. But we gave our best. My pops was a coach, and he would always tell us, if we go out there and we give it our best and our best isn't good enough, so be it. But that's what we're going to do. You can hang your head high when you go out there and give your best. And I think this team did. I think this baseball team, they gave their best. It's just we weren't that good. Other teams were a little better than us.
Yeah, Hagen Smith was the anchor this year.
He's a G.
He really was.
He's an absolute G. Hey, do you want to go to this phone call now, or do you want to wait till we get Chuck Barrett on?
We can take it now.
Let's do it. I know, Phil, we don't do a lot of phone calls in the first segment, but let's go ahead. We got Chuck coming up for the next two segments, so let's go to the phone lines.
Hey, JR.
JR, what's up?
Hello.
Man?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing okay.
Good. Hey, you know what? It seems like there's a really sharp transition between the idea of trying to put the ball in play and trying to knock it to Tulsa when you go up to bat. Explain what that is, because that was the big Achilles heel for us, is trying to put the ball in play. In these last few games we had, especially in the tournament, because we go up there to try to blast it out, instead of trying to get somebody on base to try to get some runs in. And it just seems like, there's a couple that did okay with doing that, but for the most part, these big, huge swings that they were taking to try to knock it out of the park, which they did a few times, but nobody was on base either. So you got a couple of people hitting, solo home runs with nobody, on board. So there's got to be something that has to be accomplished with playing small ball and getting people on base, and trying to find that fine balance between the home run hitting and putting the ball in play. So.
Thank you, JR. Thank you for the call. Yeah, I mean, when you have a team, you have to see what talent you have, and you got to kind of match up what kind of your philosophy is going to be with what they can do. That's how I always look at even basketball and football. You can't ask players to do things that they're not capable of. That doesn't mean they can't get better at certain things, but that's the coach's job to see what does my team do well. What do we struggle with? What can we do? Where can we take advantages in the numbers? Where is the mismatch? What can we do better than the other team? It's fun being a coach and seeing all the players that you have and what you can do. Where are the matchups at? And this year it just kind of fizzled at the end, but not for lack of trying though.
You should never really go up to the plate trying to hit a home run. You should have an approach. I'm going to get a base hit, and if a home run comes, that's great. Too many times you saw this year where we had guys at the plate that we know could hit home runs, but they would fly out or pop out, and that doesn't do anybody any good. Look, I'm not smarter than Dave Van Horn. Dave Van Horn knows best. He knows what needs to be fixed. That's just kind of what I see. It's just like if we're not hitting home runs, we're not really putting much pressure on the other team.
Well, we have a fun show lined up for you today. Like I said, we have Bill King coming up in hour 3, Alyssa Orange coming up in hour 2. But for the next 2 segments, we get the one and only Chuck Barrett, talk a little baseball, talk a little NBA Finals, talk a little Dallas Cowboys. If you guys want to get in with us, please do. The McLarty Daniel hotline will be open, 877-377-6963, and we'll be back right after this.
This is halftime.
I wanted to find someone who would embrace Arkansas and the opportunities to build on a rich tradition that includes 22 conference titles, 14 Sweet 16 appearances, 11 Elite 8 appearances, 6 Final Fours, and a 1994 NCAA championship.
The head coach of your Arkansas Razorbacks, John Calipari.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Pay attention. This happens fast. You need money. You get a job. Turns out that job doesn't pay near enough for the nonsense it puts you through every day. You want to move fast, but the clock moves slow. You're smart, though. You know machines. You want to work at a place as fast as you. You call Medley Equipment Company. They need a technician, and they'll teach you everything you need to know to be the best, with pay raises all along. Because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The tailgating scene on a perfect fall day in the natural state. Pulling the Hogs with 75,000 plus as the Razorbacks run through the A. And all the things you love about football game days are near. Football season tickets are now on sale for marquee matchups against Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, and longtime rival and new SEC foe, Texas.
Slant, caught, touchdown, Arkansas.
Experience game day on the Hill and secure your seat and tailgating space by visiting ArkansasRazorbacks.com or by calling the Hogs at 800-982-HOGS.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the
air. Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. Yet the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
With the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through Monday, buy 1 gallon of Clark Kensington or Ace Royal paint and get 50% off at your local Jaegers Hardware. Sale includes interior and exterior paint, limit 2.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Singer. Yeah. Running down the one night stands around me. Yeah. Got to stop to feeling so low. And I decided quickly. Yes, I did. To just go down and check out the show. Yeah, dancing, singing, moving to the moving. Just when.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Yes, sir. Beautiful Tuesday morning still. 11:21 on this beautiful Tuesday. Myself, C Unit at the controls. Phil Elson with some much-needed time off. One of the hardest working mans in all of sports. Taking a couple days off, hanging with his family. So it's us two. It's me and C Unit bringing us in for the next couple days. And right now we got one of the greatest, one of the best to do it, and that's Chuck Barrett. Chuck, man, how's it going today?
Well, man, I'm doing okay. You sound like an old-time DJ in there, man, spinning the tunes, coming back out of it with that mellow voice.
We're all in trouble, Chuck. We're all in trouble, yeah. Man, you know, Chuck, baseball season, I love competition. I love sport. We love the Razorbacks, and I think we are a little spoiled. We've Dave Van Horn's kind of spoiled us with a lot of success, but we're still trying to get there. We still won a little bit, but I think we overreacted a little bit is what I'm getting at, Chuck. Right when the season's over, you're a little hurt. You're distraught. You don't know what to think, kind of. You're like, wow, I didn't think it was going to end this soon. Can you kind of put a bow on it, or have you had a chance to digest to see kind of like what can you put a bow on it for me?
Well, it's hard to do because the disappointment's still raw, I think, for a lot of people. And, you know, if you're a fan, you're a player, you're a coach, everybody's disappointed, but there's different types of disappointment. You know, sometimes when you're a fan, you get angry, you know, when it doesn't go the way you want it to. And we live in an era where when your team doesn't win, somebody's got to get fired. You know, if they love the head coach, he's got to fire some assistants. And if they didn't like the head coach to begin with, well, they were wanting him to be fired anyway. So that generally is a lot of people's reaction when things like this happen, and I understand that. I thought Dave was real matter-of-fact in his post-game press conference, but there were some real nuggets in there, and I think there's a sound plan for the future, but I do think that you really got to, you know, when you look at this team, and I'm going to be honest, I thought down the stretch they might get to Omaha. I didn't really know if they could. Now, I thought they'd win their first-round regional. I'm not going to lie there. Matt, there was not a lot of balance in their lineup. They had a bunch of home run hitters. It's like trying to play basketball with 5 centers. Can't do it. You got to have some balance to your lineup. Arkansas's offense, the only pressure that they really put on the pitcher or on the defense was with the hitter. Didn't steal bases. Didn't bunt much. They were good base runners, but they weren't particularly fast. You got to have some guys that can set the table. You got to have guys who can run. You look at the way Kansas State beat Arkansas Saturday night. 2 walks on 3-2 pitches, sack bunt, couple of slap hits, squeeze play. Then you turn the guy loose and let him swing for the downs. And he got a pitch he could turn on at a 3-run homer, and the season was over basically at that point. And Arkansas was at their best when Wilmsmeyer was on base. Everything changes when that pitcher's got a pitch with a guy on base. The SEC, a lot of teams in the SEC, and we were one of them, it's kind of like the major leagues. It's walk, strikeout, double, home run. There's not a lot of table setters out there. When Kansas State bunted 2 guys up with nobody out in the 5th inning, there's not a team in the SEC that would have done that. You can count on one hand. You could add up all the SEC games this year in baseball. You wouldn't need more than one hand to count the number of squeeze plays. It's just not part of the game. But for some teams it is. And I think Arkansas has got to get to, I won't say back to a point, but I just, maybe it is back to a point where you know who the leadoff hitter is. You've got guys in each spot of the lineup for a specific reason. Some guys are table setters. Some guys are big boppers. But just like you can't have a good offensive team with a bunch of singles hitters, you can't have a good offense with a bunch of home run hitters either, because they're all swinging for the down. So I think there's got to be more balance in the lineup. And Dave talked about that after the game the other night. And it sounds like on the recruiting trail, that's where they're headed.
Yeah, it makes me. Was that 2 years ago? That this football team, it might have been last year, but the second game of the year, we weren't playing a very good opponent, and we ran the ball for like 47 yards, and coach comes out and talking about how, well, that wasn't really the game plan. I really wouldn't worry about it. And then all year we couldn't run the ball. And it's like, well, when you take a baseball team, do you see a team work on things when you are playing those Tuesday games, the Wednesday games? Do you see us working on these other qualities, these other things that you're going to need to do when you need to bunt a guy over, when you need to do something else, instead of just coming up there always with a one-track mind?
Well, there's a fine line to walk there. When Arkansas moved to more of, what I'd call a big bopper style, that's an old term, but that's when their recruiting classes suddenly became like number 1 and number 2 and number 3 national.
Getting some dudes, yeah.
And the reason for that is that in the SEC, more than any other baseball conference, is filled with pro prospects, filled with them. Every team's got them. You can't bring a guy in, Matt, as an 18-year-old and say, hey, you're going to be drafted in a couple of years. And I know that in the big leagues, it's walk, strikeout, double, home run. But we're going to have you play a different style here than you're going to play in the pros. You're not going to get that kid. He's not going to come play for you. He's going to go play for someone that plays the same style he's going to play in the pros. And I'm not sure you can have a top 5 recruiting class playing what I call old school baseball. I'm not sure you can.
I haven't thought about it that way, Chuck, and it makes sense when you look back at kind of the fall of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, when that triple option, running that options, and then you got to a point where I want to say it was early 2000s, they weren't getting the dudes anymore. Quarterbacks didn't want to go play Nebraska. They wanted to go play because that wasn't what was going on at the next level.
And that happens a lot. And I'll go back to what I said a minute ago. You would not see an SEC team bunt with nobody out and 2 runners on in the 5th inning. Just like you're not going to see a major league team do it, ever. When's the last time you saw a big league team squeeze a run in? It doesn't happen anymore. It used to happen all the time. That's not the game now. Well, the idea that you're going to sign a guy that's rated as he's a first or second round pick, but you're going to talk him into coming playing college ball for you. He's going to turn down $1 million, say, to come play college baseball for you. Well, you can't tell that kid we're going to turn you into a different type player while you're here. It just doesn't work. And so, I mean, you could do it if you could get him, but you're not going to get him. And so I understand the catch-22 these guys are in. They really are. They are in a catch-22 in that regard. I know Dave Van Horn well enough to know that I see situations all the time when the coach that I know would be putting down a bunt right there. He'd be starting the runner. You know, there was a point in the game the other night, and this is what having guys on base who can run, this is how it affects your game in other ways. I think it was Wilmsmeyer on first base the other night, and Diggs was at the plate. Well, Diggs hadn't had a good swing in a month, and they started the runner. A lot of times if you've got a guy in a slump and you got a base runner at first base, you start that runner because it forces the hitter to focus solely on contact. And Diggs focused solely on contact, drove a line drive up the middle. He did exactly what a hitter's supposed to do. He drove the ball through the middle on a hit and run. Didn't get too fancy, just made contact. Drove it up the middle, runner ends up over at third base. Now, you can't win every game like that. And I'm not suggesting that should be your everyday style of
but
play.
you have
My
to
point is
have it in
that
your back pocket.
when you get to the NCAA tournament, you got to beat people in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You got to beat them in different ways, and they didn't have the ability to do that.
That's ability. That's the right word. That's when it gets down to it, you have to have that play in your playbook. You have to be able to put a bunt down and to manufacture a run. And it is hard when that's the way we go about it. What is what do you think next is for Hagen Smith? Because we wouldn't have made it this far without Hagen Smith, and it stinks that it ends the way it ends. But I'm still a Hagen Smith fan. Is he a guy that, I mean, he's obviously he's going to be gone next year?
Oh yeah, he's gone. He's going to be a top 10 draft pick, and he'll go down as one of the greatest pitchers to ever put on a Razorback uniform. And Coach Van Horn said this after the ball game, and he's exactly right. You take Hagen Smith off this team, they're just a very average team. Just very average. But now you take the best pitcher off a lot of teams, and they can become average pretty quickly. But he was a cut above. I mean, just a cut above in every way. And it won't take him long to get to the big leagues. I don't think it's out of the question, Matt. Because, see, I think the Pirates, if they'd been in the race last year, I think they'd have brought Skeens up.
Yeah.
Because I think he could have helped him. I'm not suggesting that Smith's going to be up before the end of this year, but it would not surprise me, and I expect him, depending upon which team drafts him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the business of baseball. A lot of times they'll keep you down there in the minors for another 6, 8, 12 months, so they don't start that. You don't start the years that go towards your arbitration. They'll keep you down there a little bit longer than they used to, and the Pirates did that with Skeens a little bit. But it wouldn't surprise me if we see Smith up within 12 months from right now. It would not surprise me if he's in the big leagues. I don't know if it'll be this year, but I think it may be next year.
Yeah, situational. Phil and I had this we touched on this a little bit yesterday, Chuck. I wanted to get your thoughts. So I've seen this in football with the quarterback. You've seen it with in basketball, with a guy like Hunter Dickinson, a guy like Sears at Alabama. These baseball players that are all used to leaving at year 3, but they're still going to go do AA for 2 or 3 years before they get that, for the most part, before they get that call up. Is there a draft spot? Like if you're not a top 5 round in the draft, is there NIL money comparable for these kids to stay? Could you see some of these Arkansas kids that are in their 3rd year? Phil was going through it and said a lot of these kids are supposed to be leaving, but could you see a lot of these kids coming back because we have NIL money?
I don't know. I won't say never, but generally speaking, I would think not, because here's the deal. The only time you have any leverage with a professional team is after your junior year. You could come back for some NIL money your senior year, but the next year when you get drafted, you're going to get a bus ticket and $5,000. And so, I mean, yes, you could come back, and some may, but if you're a pro prospect, you can win the battle and lose the war, so to speak. If you're intent on playing professional baseball, it's just my opinion.
No,
if you're intent on playing professional baseball after your junior year of college, you need to get your butt to professional baseball.
I hadn't thought of it that way. Whereas as a quarterback or other positions, you're still kind of going on. That's good perspective. All right. Well, we're gonna have Chuck Barrett for one more segment coming up on this awesome Tuesday. And Christian, let's go pay some bills.
This is halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
At Red River Dodge, not only do we have new vehicles, but we also have top quality pre-owned, all the way from your big rig trucks to your luxury class SUVs. Are you needing to trade in a used vehicle? That's no problem. Here at Red River Dodge, we give top dollar for your trade-in. Whatever it is you're needing, here at Red River Dodge, we have it. Give us a call today at 501-362-5831 or visit us on the web at redriverdodge.com. And don't forget, folks, we deliver.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We blinked and 2024 is already halfway over. Pretty incredible. What's something that you've done this year you're proud of? Keep up the good work with a moment every week to hit pause, set intentions, and reset in therapy. BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on a flexible schedule. Take a moment with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Greenberg today.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. And when the game's over, head on over to the online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pat Reed from Woodland. Read about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the app line. 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Yes, sir. Back halftime. Myself, C Unit, and Chuck Barrett joined us for another segment. Everybody that's tuning in, wondering where Phil is. He is a couple days vacation, hanging out with the family. Much deserved. Well, Chuck, we got you for one more second here. One more segment. Sorry. Wanted to see what about some postseason awards. You know, Hagen Smith, obviously the pitching award, but who would be maybe your most improved Razorback that you saw from start to finish this year?
You know, that's an interesting question. I thought as the year wore on, Hudson White got better at the plate, became a little bit more of the hitter that he had been at Texas Tech. I thought he got better. I'd have to put my thinking
That's
cap
another
on
guy.
for a minute. I thought Sprague Lott probably exceeded a lot of people's expectations. Didn't really know who he was when he came in here. So those would be a couple of guys right there that would, just off the top of my head.
Hudson White was another guy I was telling Phil about. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but that he's another guy that I want to come back selfishly. You're like, Hudson White, come back and be a Razorback for another year, but it's again that third year deal where you got to go. All right, well,
they're going to lose the whole team basically.
Yeah.
They're going to lose the whole team, and that's how it works now. Sometimes, in fact, when you deal in the portal in baseball. You're getting a lot of these guys for just 1 year, maybe two, but a lot of times just one, and then they're going to the draft. So, and then they're drafting high school kids too. So, you're dealing with it on both ends in baseball.
Well, we got I know it's World of Sports is going on. I don't know if you saw the Canadian Open with Robert McIntyre and had his pops on the bag. That I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, you saw? So you saw that?
Well, I didn't watch it as it happened.
Yeah.
I read about it. I'm familiar with it.
He called him up and he was like, he called him a couple of days early, and his pops was like, oh, I don't know if I can get away with work, and then Robert's like, yeah, you can, Dad, come on. And it was his first one and he won. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. Just other things going on. Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. He's sitting there saying, I'm a grass cutter. My son just won a golf tournament. I mean, he was a proud father.
First PGA Tour win for him too. That's and it was cool.
I think I'd have my dad back on the bag next time out.
That's yeah, and Rory, was cool to see Rory getting interviewed, and he's like he was like, because Rory shot like 64 on Sunday. He was the leader in the clubhouse for a little bit, and they're like, Rory, do you think he's like, no, I don't think so. because one of his buddies, they play international tournaments together, is Robert McIntyre. And so it's cool to see those guys pulling for each other because they do have, and like Justin Thomas, who was the one that when Xander Schauffele just won the U.S. Open, or I'm sorry, Justin Thomas is the first one over there giving him a hug, congratulations and all. It's just cool to see the brotherhood that they got going on.
Well, Matt, you know this better than any of us, but there's a mutual respect there. Only you guys, only the people on that stage really understand what goes into it. The rest of us watch, and if we've watched a lot, we probably form halfway intelligent opinions, but it's still not like somebody who's, in the case of golf, played between the ropes. And I know the respect they have for one another is enormous.
Well, okay, I'm gonna ask you first of all, who wins Omaha? Last baseball question. Who do you got winning it this year?
Man, I'm going to say something here that's going to be like people are going to say I'm nuts. I think the 25-year hex is going to be broken.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tennessee wins the national championship.
They got Evansville in their super, so I think they'll go Evans 38-24. That's always good. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun watching it. All right. There's CeeDee Lamb. So he's still on his rookie contract, Chuck, and I just saw this. Jefferson in Minnesota got 140. Waddle in Miami got 84. Where does CeeDee Lamb somewhere right there in the middle? Because obviously Dallas has to re-sign CeeDee Lamb and give him some money the way it's going. Does that get done this year?
Yeah, it'll get done. Jerry will cave. He caved with Emmitt Smith years ago. Took him 2 games to do it, but he did, and they'll pay him because they have to. I think what CeeDee Lamb's done is pretty impressive there because he hasn't had an all-world supporting cast, if you want to get right down to it. This isn't a Super Bowl team. Now, some of the other guys don't play for Super Bowl teams either, but I don't think Lamb's Jalen Waddle or the Jefferson guy. But I think he's as good as Waddle, and they're going to pay him. Now what they really need to do is pay him and get him some, get him a sidecar. If he's Batman, get him a Robin, because they don't have enough of that. But look, the players at the end of the day, they're going to get what they want because you got to have them. And so CeeDee Lamb will get his money, and I think you'll get it sooner rather than later.
It's like, Chuck, you wrote down my notes before because
sorry.
No, same thing. I think, Chuck, I think he's somewhere in between Jefferson and Waddle. And I do think CeeDee Lamb's a top 5 receiver, top 6 receiver in the NFL. The dude's an absolute stud. But then my side card I wrote out, you got to find him a Robin. You got to find him somebody else as well. And I know you have a decent tight end. Got to have a running game. But if you can get another dude to go out there with CeeDee Lamb where they can't always roll coverage, man. It's the sky's the limit for that dude because he's in his prime.
They need an Alvin Harper to go with their Michael Irvin.
Number 80, Alvin Harper. You're exactly right.
You can't go to the Super Bowl with one great wide receiver and one great tight end. You think about those Cowboy teams back then. Now I don't know. They had Troy and they had Emmett, and that was an all-star cast.
Great Larry Allen.
I won't go so far as to say they wouldn't have won a Super Bowl without Alvin Harper, but he was an awfully good compliment. And I don't know that that's the best example, but what I'm saying is they gotta, and you are too. You gotta have somebody to go with it.
No, exactly right. You got to have somebody. I'll never forget hearing the playmaker tell the story about the playoff game where he wasn't getting any balls yet, and so they finally in the fourth quarter they had him running a glance, or it's like a deeper slant route, and Michael Irvin tells Alvin Harper, no, you go run the glance route. I'm running your route because it's been going to you all day, and so he goes over there, and then Alvin Harper catches it for 68, and then Mike says he's just running them down, just saying that's my touchdown. That's my touchdown.
That's like the guy you're fishing with, catching fish at a certain spot all day, and you steal his spot, and he goes to yours, and he keeps catching, and you don't catch it.
Well, that's all we got, I guess, for today, Chuck. So, man, thank you as always for joining us on these Tuesdays.
Hey, I enjoy it, man. You're doing great, man. Have fun.
Oh, we're all in trouble, Chuck. We're all in trouble. Thanks, man. That's Chuck Barrett, the one and only. I enjoy our chats. He's very insightful. He's seen a lot of ball, and he's got it going on. So that was cool. Well, if you want to get in with us, please do. That's the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963, and we'll be back right after this.
This is halftime.
The name Neumeier means something in the River Valley. Rib Room and Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. But have you been to their new establishment, the Whippoorwill? Unbelievable Southern food right across the street from Papa's. Southern cooking at its finest, like burgers, chicken fried steak, Mimi's meatloaf, fried green tomatoes, and more. Go to whippoorwillrestaurant.com to check out their menu and daily specials. Neumeier's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Neumeier family.
Summer camp, vacation, travel baseball, repeat. Family reunion, lake time, I'm beat. A parent in the summertime is a glorified chauffeur, but if you find yourself in a fender bender, you'll need a good lawyer. I'm Jackie Mock. With 12 years of experience in insurance and car wreck cases, I can help get you back on the road for more summer fun. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Now we will share a lifetime of the fondest memories.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Celebrate freedom in a new RV from Camping World in Van Buren, Arkansas. For a limited time, get into a new RV starting at just $104 per month and see America for less. As part of America's #1 RV network, we've got an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. Buy with confidence at Camping World, knowing every RV comes with a 3-year Good Sam Elite membership and access to our nationwide service network. Make sure your next summer adventure is the best one yet. Click, call, or visit Camping World in Van Buren today. Certain restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. You have the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I believe in miracles. You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, You suck so bad.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back halftime here. 11:53 Tuesday, June 4th. What a beautiful day. 2 days away from NBA Finals getting here and looking forward to it. Big shout out. Thanks for Chuck Barrett coming and joining us for a couple segments. As always, as he usually does on these Tuesdays. C-Unit, you getting excited for the NBA Finals?
Yeah, a couple days out is when you kind of start to get into the groove a little bit. Now the players should be very rested. I will say that, and I think it was good for Luka to get some rest, and Porzingis should give him plenty of time to get acclimated. And
Has Porzingis played yet in the playoffs this year? Did he play in that first series, or no, he hadn't played yet?
I think he played in that first series. That's when he got hurt.
He's a key, I think, Christian. If he's not healthy, I mean, you got Al Horford, old man Horford, who's 2 years older than the head coach. Yeah. How much and how much can he give you? And he's super smart.
I think he'll have like a minutes restriction coming back. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's going to resume back to normal minutes, at least not in game one. I'm sure that game one's going to be kind of like a little trial period because it takes some time to get used to game speed. I don't expect him to have like a big game one, but I think just him being out on the floor will open some things up for the Celtics. Because without Porzingis, it'd be kind of hard in my opinion, for the Celtics to have enough firepower to keep up with the Mavericks.
Yeah, you have those two all-defensive NBA guards in Drew Holiday and Derek White. That's still one of the best trades made last year. But I mean, these are two teams that the front office is just willing and dealing, and they're coming up roses. I mean, they found a way to get Drew Holiday, and who's just a masterclass defensive guard, and Derek White. He was drafted by the Spurs, and they traded for him a few years ago. And then P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford for the Mavericks. They made an in-season trade for those two cats, and they've come on and been starters and been players and have been making plays. I'm excited for Daniel Gafford. I'm always pulling for the Arkansans, and he's an El Dorado kid, played for the Hogs, and couldn't be happier and more excited for him. And then Jordan Walsh on the other side. I think, is Jordan Walsh a Missouri kid that came to Arkansas, or is he a Texas kid?
You might be right. It might be a Missouri kid.
Yeah, but
no, I think it's Texas. But he won't play unless they get up like 20,
he won't play. That's
20
right.
Or 30.
But that's still a cool experience that he gets to be on the bench. So that's going to be fun. If you want to get in with us, please do. We have 2 hours left of this wonderful edition of Halftime, and we'll be back after this.
Are you tired of processed meat and flimsy sandwiches? Subchain's gotten to your last nerve? Then I have the place for you. Come see my buddy Josefa at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Locally sourced meat sliced daily and fresh breads from Harvest Moon Bakery. Daily specials announced on Facebook, including the Poke Bowl every Friday and Saturday. For to-go orders, call 479-567-3403.
My name is Lily. My papa makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Hello, this is Mike Giacomo at Arvest Bank, inviting you to join us in the fight against hunger during Arvest's 14th annual Million Meals campaign. All the money goes directly to our communities, and there is no amount too small. Even just $1 provides 5 meals to those in need. Now, through the end of the month, you can easily make a monetary contribution at your nearest Arvest branch. You can also donate online at arvest.com/millionmeals. And if you're an Arvest customer, you can go directly to Arvest Go mobile app. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the clouds will increase. Chance of seeing some scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, or high temperatures today, low to mid 80s. Tonight, a chance of showers and scattered thunderstorms, and overnight low upper 60s to near 70. And another round of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, highs near 85 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 86 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. If I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we're not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback.
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Oh, my goodness. 1 hour down, 2 beautiful hours to go. This Tuesday edition of Halftime. Myself, C-Unit on the controls. We got Alyssa Orange coming up in the next segment. If you want to get in with us, talking all things sports, man, the great Larry Allen passed away at 52, Dallas Cowboys legend. I just saw that. We brought that up yesterday, but please get in with us today, whatever you want to talk about, 877-377-6963 on the McClarty Daniel hotline. C-Unit, we had somebody do that. You wanna go to the phone lines?
Yeah, let's go, Cecil.
Cecil, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? Okay, here we go. You got Luka, Kyrie, Derrick Jones, P.J. Washington, Gafford. Then you got P.J. Washington bagging up Gafford. Derrick Jones.
You mean Lively?
I mean, no. I'm looking. Oh yeah, you got Lively. Okay, so the matchups with Boston, I just see Dallas is outmatching them on height and scoring, and just put your money with Dallas. That's all I gotta say.
I agree with you. So Cecil, I'll say this. I'll agree with you that I think the inside game is advantage Dallas. No question, no question about it. The perimeter defending to me, and now I think Derrick Jones is a G. That dude is so springy and athletic. The way Gafford protects the rim, I get that. But with those 4 guards of Boston, it's going to be about perimeter defense as well.
Right, but Kyrie, look, do you really think that who's gonna hold Kyrie?
Yeah, nobody's holding Kyrie right now. But
nobody holding Kyrie. Who's holding Luka? No one's holding Luka either.
No one's holding Jason Tatum. So that's you can cross one of those out. If you wanted to cross Luka and Tatum out, because I think that's a wash. And then if you wanted to say Jaylen Brown and Kyrie, I think I think they'll go toe for toe, those 2 and 2. So then you start looking at your other pieces. You know, who's going to beat Drew Holiday? Can Gafford and Lively, you know, that crew, can Jones, can they beat Drew Holiday and Derek White?
Yeah. I mean, well, let me take that back now. Gafford and Derek Lively was in there at the same time at times. I don't even know if they really have to use them like that.
They can't use them. Yeah, they rotate them
Why?
most of the time.
They shoot for real. They shoot the most threes in. Who's the best shooting team, Matt? Who's the best shooting team in the finals?
So the number one team, when you say point differential, Boston was number 1, and their offensive rating was number 1. The Mavericks, offensive rating is 8th.
Okay, but you know why, don't you, Matt?
Well, I think they had to play against tougher opponents. I think when you look at the rest of the East.
There you go, Matt. There you go. They out the East. Boston's in the East. That's a whole different monster. If Boston was playing in the West right now, they would probably be 5th or 4th or 6th or something like that. Porzingis is going to mess the rotation up because he ain't been playing. Same way it went with Minnesota. When what's the name went to go? He had a baby, and they won really well without him.
Gobert?
They did, yes, they did really good without him. So when they put him back in the rotation, what it did, it messed the rotation, the bench rotation up. I would have just stuck with that. I would have just kept winning just like that. Because it took the third man coming off the bench, he came in second, and the second man came in first. So when they put him back in there, it just messed the rotation up. He couldn't keep up with nobody out there. Just because he got Defensive Player of the Year don't mean he matched up well with Dallas, because he couldn't hold Luka. Man, Luka's 6'9", 6'10", then he got a fadeaway. He is deadly. He's deadly. I got my money with them Mavs.
There we go.
Hey, that's the.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Cecil. Always enjoy a little NBA talk with you. I think it's 2-1. Where if you're a bettor, you know, I always say take your money in your right pocket and put it in your left pocket, and you'll be all right. But it's Dallas is the pick, right?
Yeah, I think Dallas, you know, is the pick that nobody wants to say. Like, most people are just kind of saying, "Oh, the Celtics have been the best team all year." You know, that's kind of
how much importance are you putting on game 1, or do you think Dallas just needs to win one of 2? Like,
I just think they need to win one of 2.
It doesn't matter if it's game 1 or game 2. If Dallas can find a way to win one of these first 2 games, I think you have a 7-game series on your hands.
Yeah, that first game is a little weird. I don't expect, you know, you just never know with that first game with both teams being off so long, and Porzingis coming back for the Celtics. If you're Dallas, you obviously don't want to come in and get blown out, but they've shown Dallas has shown if they get beat in that first game or whatever game it is, that they can usually respond pretty good. I know they're going to be motivated. I know Boston's going to be motivated. You know, Jason Tatum's trying to get his first title.
Who do you think? Because I think, to your point, I'm with you, Christian. It's going to be, they're both going to be hype when they get out there game 1, and I think and this is cliche to say, but to me, it's going to be the last 8 minutes of every game. Mm-hmm. You're getting to the last 8 minutes with who's in foul trouble, who's not in foul trouble, who's got it going on, and then it's going to come down. So NBA is so cool because it really is 24-second arcade. Let's get it and go. It's going to come down to these last 8 minutes, last handful of possession. It's almost like a quarterback when you have Drew Brees versus Eli Manning. You know, it's who has the ball last is going. Which one? We've seen Jaylen Brown close out hitting that 3-pointer against the Pacers in the corner. He wins the Eastern Conference Player of the Year, but we've seen him be clutch. We know what Tatum can do, and we've seen Luka and Kyrie be just as clutch as they might be the best two most clutch players backcourt right there that you've ever seen.
I think you're right on that. I think it's really going to come down to the closing minutes, Kyrie and Luka, or Jaylen Brown or Tatum, and both teams in the playoffs have kind of solidified their imprint in the last 8 minutes. Because, I mean, you look at Boston in that Pacers series, it was neck and neck that entire game. almost every game, and then they kind of just, whenever they needed to get a bucket, they had more guys than Indiana did. And I don't think they're going to have that advantage against Dallas, but, if you're up 10, 15, it doesn't matter. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of blowouts, but you never know in the NBA. That, like I said, that game one.
Well, this is the first real game Boston. I think this is their first real match, Christian, in all the playoffs. They played the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, and the Indiana Pacers. All right, so the Miami Heat were an 8 seed. The New York Knicks were without half their team. They had. You had was that Josh Hart playing like the entire game? And Brunson's a G. Don't get me wrong, but Julius Randle was out. Obi-Wan Kenobi was. They were losing all their guys. Then you did the same thing in Indiana. Boston has had zero struggle. Struggle. They've been on cruise control. The Mavericks, they've had to beat the number 1 seed, the number 4 seed, and the number 3. They've been through battles. So are they tired? Are they worn out? Or is it kind of like iron sharpens iron? They're going to be more sharp. They're going to be ready to go.
I think they're going to be sharp, ready to go. This little week and a half, or how many days it's been, I think will help them. And yeah,
sorry, the Pacers beat the Knicks. I'm sorry.
There's going to have to be like more than Luka and Kyrie though for Dallas to step up, and you can say that
Boston beat Cleveland. I missed that one. Yeah, they beat Cleveland, but it was the same.
Donovan Mitchell was
hurt.
That's
hurt. What I'm saying. They haven't had to. Thank you, Caleb. That was my bad.
You need some PJ Washington. You need him to play.
That's
well.
what's gonna. Hey, it's gonna come down to those corner threes. If it's Dante Exum, if it's PJ Washington, if it's Jones Jr. number 55, and then the same thing with Drew Holiday and Derek White, because when you get to the last handful of possessions, you're trying to take the ball out of Kyrie and Luka's hand. You're trying to take the ball out of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You want somebody else to beat you, because with those 4 cats, I have faith in all 4 of those dudes, Christian, that all 4 of those dudes are bona fide superstars.
Yeah, I like Dallas a little bit when it comes to that, just because they, like you said, they've had a tougher road and they've made perimeter shots. Guys other than Luka and Kyrie, and the thing for Boston is Drew Holiday's a good shooter, but I don't know that he's going to get open a whole lot in this series. Derek White is a guy that scares me because, he can create his own shot. He just pulls up from all over the court. He's a hard-nosed player. He's sneaky good on defense.
Yeah, he's shooting 40% from the three-point line in these playoffs.
Oh, Derek White, he can drain threes, man.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to continue on having these wonderful sports topic conversations, and if you want to get in with us, please do today on the McLarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. We're going to be joined by the one and only Alyssa Orange, talk a little baseball, favorite moment of the season, kind of what we're thinking about Arkansas athletics, and then also she's headed to Paris to the Olympics. It's heating up there, and check in on her Dolphins and see how it's going on. So you guys come on back.
This is halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Here comes Norm. He is flying out this, and I thought we were under nuclear attack or something. I had no idea what was going on. And he looks at me. He kind of gets right in my face. He goes, "When I call a pitch, you throw it." I look at Ron. He goes, "Oh yeah, I've got to tell you, he's calling the pitches right now." I go, "Yes, sir." Yeah. And he does.
You're shaking off the headband.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
If you've been affected by the recent storms, Crabtree RV Center is here to help. Whether you need to rent or purchase an RV while your home is under repair, or you need repairs done to an existing RV, whatever your needs are, Crabtree RV is here for our Northwest Arkansas community. If you've been affected by the recent storms, Crabtree RV Center is here to help. Whether you need to rent or purchase an RV while your home is under repair, or you need repairs done to an existing RV, whatever your needs are, Crabtree RV is here for our Northwest Arkansas community.
Hi everybody, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, and we need your trade. This month, the trade-in acquisition event continues with up to 27% bonus cash on your trade on any one of our road-ready certified used cars with warranty. You can't buy a better used car, and you can't pick a better time than right now. Up to 27% bonus cash for your trade. Another reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, I knocked to a window to leave her a note. Will you come with me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom. That sweet smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah. True love.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Yes, sir. Back halftime this beautiful Tuesday. Phil Elson having a little R&R, much deserved. One of the hardest working people in the sports media. So he'll be back with us Thursday. Everybody wondering where Phil is. Myself here, C Unit on the board. We're still working on trying to get Alyssa Orange coming up. And but somebody who has called in is Charlie. Charlie from Camden today. Charlie, what's up, man? How's it going?
Man, I didn't think y'all was gonna get to it. What's up, though?
We
How y'all doing?
yes, beautiful Tuesday, man. You feeling all right? We've kind of digested a little bit of the baseball season and kind of had time to think about it, and then we getting ready for some NBA finals.
Yes, sir. We are. I listened to you guys talk about that last segment. Matt, I didn't get to hear exactly kind of where you were leaning, but I'm leaning, and I'll give you my opinion and why I'm leaning. I've been telling everybody, you think about the West, and to me, the West is loaded. And for Dallas to get through the way they did, and what they pretty much, gentlemen sweep the Timberwolves, who, in my opinion, are a really good, young and up-and-coming team. And so I just think that, Dallas is more battle-tested. Now, I think they're both extremely talented. I got Dallas in 6. And I think the game for me, Matt, most of those games are going to come. They're going to be close. I don't think similar to the last series. Right now, I'm not saying Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum aren't good closers, but you tell me if it came down to that. Because to me, Luka and Kyrie on the court together, you think about them closing a game. That might be the best closing backcourt right now in the league. I mean, if you just think about it. And then the trades that they made, obviously huge, getting Gafford, P.J. Washington, and their defense. It's going to be a defensive series, and both teams are going to battle it out. Boston plays a lot of ISO, 5-out ball. I'm glad Dallas got Maxi Kleber back, because if they got to go to their 5-out lineup, I like their chances. He can hold his own, too. Matt, who you rolling with? You got Boston, or what you thinking? Anyways, I'll hang up and listen.
Ooh, I've been back and forth on this one. I'm a man. I think Jason Tatum is the best American player in the NBA right now. It's let me think about it. I'll get down to it tomorrow. Let me think about it a little bit longer. Oh, we got Alyssa. We got Alyssa here. So let's go. Let's just go right to it. Alyssa, we did play your theme music, so we still had that going on today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for thinking of me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. So we've kind of had a little bit of time to digest it. We talked about it a little bit in this first hour with this baseball season, and really I think the season was a success. It's just we're spoiled, and it's kind of expectations and at the end it does hurt, the taste in your mouth. You're like, oh man, it just kind of, we did have bigger expectations, but all in all, I think it was a successful baseball season. How would you kind of sum up this 2023 baseball season?
Yeah, I think that when you look back on it and take some time, in a few months looking back, this is a team that still won the SEC West, a team that was still ranked at one point number 1 in the country, a team that has the SEC Pitcher of the Year on it, and probably the best at this moment in time to ever play for Arkansas. And, you look at 2021 a little bit with Kevin Kopps on that team, and some people might say that team failed too, but at the same time they accomplished a lot that I think people forget about because they didn't end the season in Omaha, didn't end the season with the trophy. And I think you're right. We get spoiled and we take that for granted because we're so used to them winning 40-plus games every single year. But baseball, as you know, and as you realize, is such a game of momentum. And you have teams that just peak at the right time, and I think this Arkansas team started to just fatigue at the wrong time. And that happens in baseball. I mean, you look at the major leagues, and you can win 100 games during the regular season and lose the very first round of the MLB playoffs. So it happens to the best of teams. But I don't want to put past the fact that this team accomplished a lot during the regular season, and there were some individual accomplishments as well that shouldn't be overshadowed by the result of the Fayetteville Regional.
No question about it. I had 4 years up there, and in 1 year we won the West, and the season didn't end the way we wanted it to, but we still won the West, and that's something this race, you still remember that with that group of guys and going through it, and I know they will. One of my favorite moments this year was that Mississippi State Game 3, and not just because I was at it, but a little bit because I was at it. But we go down early, we come back, and everybody's fired up. We come back and win that game. What was your favorite moment of this Razorback baseball season?
Well, I hate to steal your answer, but in fact, I went to 2 Razorback games as a spectator this year. The very first game of the season against JMU, because my mom and my dad are both JMU alum. But then that Mother's Day game as well with my mom, and being down and watching that team come back, it was really fun. And so I hate to steal it from you, but that was one of my favorite memories as well, because I got to witness it on Mother's Day with my mom in the stands. And it was an example of how this team continued to fight. And I know that some people don't want to believe that this team didn't have fight in them, but there were so many games where they won one-run games, so they were down and fought back. Didn't win all those, but they came back and they were close. They didn't just roll over and give up. And I think that that's the characteristic of this team, even though it fell short. And it was good to see. It was cool to see in that Mississippi State game.
No, this team fought. That was something this team never did. They never did quit, and that's just a beautiful thing when you that's just a testament to the coach as well. When the team goes out there and fights for him. Hey, Alyssa, with this ever-changing landscape of college athletics and this NIL deal, how confident, how comfortable, how do you feel about this baseball team the next 3, 4, 5 years? Do you think this baseball team's a team that's going to be able to compete at a high level and have expectations of Omaha, or do you think that they start to change these expectations the next 4 or 5 years?
No, I think it changes, or I think it stays the same in terms of what the end goal is. And I think the biggest thing with baseball that's a little different from basketball and football is just the way the game is played, the culture, the foundation, that Dave and his staff have built that foundation, and Dave specifically since, I mean, you could go back to 2013, 2012, but really 2016, and all the 40-plus win games seasons that they've had. The foundation is there, and the NIL is going to change it, but I don't think it's going to change it drastically. If anything, I think unlimited scholarships is a thing that baseball is looking at. There's a lot of NIL things that baseball can start to actually bring in more talent, can maybe convince some of those freshmen who get drafted out of high school but maybe in a lower round to come to college instead of taking the money and going pro immediately and get those guys on campus. So I think that's only an advantage to a sport like baseball that's a little different than football and basketball.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I think I agree with you with that. I saw where Justin Jefferson, the receiver from Minnesota, he cashed in. I want to say 140. Waddle got about 83. What are your thoughts on that? I think he deserves it. I like Waddle. I'm a Waddle fan. Are you liking that? And do you see if Miami, do they do something with Tyreek Hill this year, or do you think they let him play his contract out?
Yeah, no, first and foremost, congratulations to Justin Jefferson, because I think that's big for a non-quarterback to get something like that and kind of set the standard for guys who aren't quarterbacks in the league. And then Jalen Waddle is just so much fun to watch, and I hope he can stay healthy and have a long career. And I know the talk now is Tyreek. What is Tyreek's really having these conversations about restructuring his contract and what that looks like a little bit too with Miami. And I think Miami needs to kind of do what they need to do to keep him. I mean, he's such a spark plug and energy guy for that team, and I don't think you lose a guy like that. I think you see the value in a guy like Tyreek, and if I'm the GM and the managers in the room, I figure out what we can pay for him to keep him around for as long as possible.
Yeah, I have Miami as the 5th best team right now in the AFC. I think that's a team that if they get a little tougher, and their speed is just so dynamic. It was tough last year, Alyssa, watching them have to go to Kansas City and play in that freezing cold. It kind of negates the speed a little bit, but Miami's going to be a scary team this year, no question about it.
They just got to stay healthy, and I know that that's so easy to say, But Miami just had so many tough breaks, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, to where you have teams like Buffalo who kind of stumbled a little bit early but then got it going towards the end. And this is just another example of it's all about how the team dynamic is at the right moment. I think Miami, if they were playing the way that they were playing through most of the season towards the end of the year, things might have been different in terms of a playoff run. They would have been hosting, right, and not having to go and play on the road. But they're an exciting team. It's been a really long time, Matt, since the Dolphins have been an exciting team to watch, and I hopefully that trajectory, as a fan, stays that way.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, something that's exciting that I'm a little jealous of. You get to go to Paris this summer and watch the Olympics. What are you looking forward to? How has this process been as you get ready to go over there and cover the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, the excitement is there for sure. But what's been really cool is the stories. And I've talked to you guys when I was at the summit, and I kind of told you we get to talk to all these different athletes. And it's really, the product and what we do with Pig Trail Nation is specifically about the Razorbacks, which I love. It's why I'm so passionate about my job, and I continue to do it. But it's been really cool to see this other side of sports, specifically with these Olympic sports that not a lot of people talk about all the time, year-round, and learn about some of these athletes. The Paralympians who I've gotten to meet and talk with have been really cool and inspiring with all their stories. And so not only am I excited to go to Paris and just experience that and the games and what that's going to bring, it's just been really cool to see a different side of athletics because I have such a Razorback bubble that I work and operate in all the time. To have that world open to me and those doors open to me to meet new athletes with new stories has been a really cool experience.
Yeah, it's cool to see where those people work out and just kind of, it's the compounds or whatever, wherever they're just so pristine and just the work that these athletes have to do for this short amount of time. But man, they really do. They really just kind of put it in and they're 100% dedicated.
Right. And just some inspiring stories. I mean, everyone has one. Even Simone Biles, who feels just, on top of the world right now in the way that her gymnastics is hitting at the right time. But, there's a Paralympic swimmer that I've spent some time with and time with her parents who live in Little Rock and grew up in Little Rock, and she swims for Northern Iowa, but at 16 years old started losing her eyesight. And she's still swimming, and she will be in Paris. She hasn't qualified, but pretty good chance of her being in Paris. And as she's focused on just the swimming stuff, her mom and dad have really put a lot of work into figuring out like what this medical mystery is and what is going on with her eyesight and everything she's going through. And so like every element has a storyline, and from the athlete to the parents who make the sacrifices to help get that athlete to where they are. It's just, again, been really cool to learn so much more about these people that I've never met before.
Well, we have the NBA Finals coming up. I don't know how much, Alyssa, you're going to be watching it, but is there anything you take away? I was talking with C Unit earlier, and you got Jordan Walsh. He's a former Hog that he probably won't play much, but he's there. He's taking it all in. Then you get Daniel Gafford from El Dorado, who's starting. Man, he's going to be a starter in the NBA Finals. And so that's kind of cool as an Arkansas perspective. And then you get this just uber talented Hall of Famer type guys and Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. And I don't know if Jaylen Brown, he's still got some, but Kyrie Irving, if he wins another championship, I think this solidifies him as an NBA Hall of Famer. How are you going to take in? Will you check any of this NBA Finals out?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm not a huge NBA person, but I really do like Daniel Gafford. And the 2 years we got to cover him here, he's just a cool guy, which, just is, it's different now. We don't really get to know the guys on the teams as much as we did in the past. So I've always rooted for Daniel at every stop along the way, so excited to see if he could win his first ring. But it's been really, really cool for Arkansas as a brand to have that national spotlight in the NBA, not just this year, but over the past couple of years with Bobby and Moses. And, eventually Anthony Black and Nick Smith Jr. are going to get to a level where hopefully they're competing for championships. And gosh, the Thunder's right there with Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe. And the market is for the Razorbacks in Arkansas is priceless. And so it's been pretty cool to see the basketball program have that spotlight on the NBA scale.
It has been pretty cool, and Alyssa, you're going to have a pretty cool summer as well. And I'm having fun getting to talk with you about it as we continue on this summer. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you guys for calling. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great week. I'll catch up next week.
Cool. Thanks, Alyssa. It's Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, Miami Dolphin fan. We didn't touch on her LA Dodgers, but I'm sure we will. She's all over the place this summer. It's pretty cool. Get to go check out the Olympics. If you want to get in with us, please do. McLarty Daniel hotline. That's 877-377-6963. We'll be back after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of community. That's why we recognize, serve, and support communities of all kinds. From small towns to big cities, business startups.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations. Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup playoffs this season. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. And when the game's over, head on over to the online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of their over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use the promo code BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Madonna has gone from like a virgin to like a surgeon. You can try to nip and tuck from the curse of sin, but eventually death is going to win. God will do major surgery on this sin-filled world, and when he does, people will try and hide their faces from him. Even plastic Christians won't be exempt. Look up Isaiah chapter 2 and see how the spiritual world renders this an immaterial world. I'm Pastor Abe from Woodland. Read about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
All kind of feels to give us all kind of thrills, but the thrill we never know is the thrill that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone, wanna see my picture on the cover. Stone, wanna buy my copies for my mother. Stone, wanna see my smiling face on the cover of the Rolling Stone.
I got a freaky old lady named a Cocaine Kitty who embroiders on my jeans. I got my poor old gray-haired daddy driving my limousine.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
All right. Here today, beautiful day, beautiful Tuesday here on Halftime. Myself, C Unit on the controls. Thank you to Alyssa Orange for joining us there. That was pretty cool. And if you guys want to do that, we have the phone lines are wide open. The next two segments on this McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. All sorts of things going on in the sports world. C Unit just told me Christian McCaffrey got a little 2-year, $19 million. Guaranteed, and he's at the time of his career. That's the last one he's going to sign. C Unit, just the nature of his business and the position that he is. Absolute stud. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I really do. Talent wise, I think he's Marshall Faulk. I mean, he does everything at such a high level, and he does everything. Across. It's not like he has a lot of weaknesses in his game, so good for him.
Yeah, averaging $19 million a year. So yeah, I think that's about as good as he can expect for the rest of his career. And 49ers are still going to be contenders next year, and their defense keeps them in games, and he's a great weapon to have on the offense.
How's the kid from that's the linebacker from Arkansas that tore
Greenlaw?
Yeah, he tore his Achilles, right? So he'll be back, hopefully?
Yeah, I would think so. He'll be back. He's really good for them. They're probably
their brands. I want to now, Christian. I know you have to be physical to win in the NFL. Do you think that San Francisco's sustainable of each year? So they've played a lot of extra football when you think about it, like making runs to the playoffs, a lot of extra hits. How long can they stay physical? How long can they keep that up? Do you think this year they make another run? Because Detroit's on the come. You got to think Philly's going to be better. I'm still not a believer in Dallas. They're not tough enough yet, but they're winning 12 games a year. It's just what 12 games are they? Are they really beating anybody that's worth beating?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of reason to be optimistic right now if you're a Cowboy fan like I am. It's just nothing seems to have happened really to this point. Not saying it won't, but you've got to make some changes. I'm not saying you got to get rid of Dak because I don't think that's going to happen, at least not this year.
Well, you got to have a plan too. I think that if you say it's like people say get rid of Dak, and okay, it's like okay, well, what's your plan? Who are you going to go get better than Dak Prescott? So you got to have a plan when it comes to it. I think you got to pay CeeDee Lamb. I think you pay him, you take care of him. And I'm with Chuck, and that you got to go get him somebody else. It opens up because we had a guy Jimmy Smith when I was at Jacksonville. He's borderline Hall of Famer. Could run a 7 route. Could point at it and just tell you, I'm gonna run here and do this, and I'm gonna catch it. Like, he was that good. But when you start rolling coverage to him, you got to have somebody on the other side. You got to have somebody else where to go, because there comes a point in the game where everybody knows where you're going with the ball.
Yeah, and it takes a lot out of a receiver if he's trying to get open all game and the defense is keying on him. So to have another guy that can kind of go alongside him, I agree, Matt. That's probably where Dallas needs to go. And I think I'm not totally sure. I think they may have lost Michael Gallup, and Michael Gallup's really not performed to the level that we all know he can, and he's kind of battling injuries, and it's just, I don't think it's gonna really work in Dallas. And I hope he proves me wrong, but it's like he's kind of hit his ceiling there.
Is number 7 coming back for Dallas?
Diggs.
I think he's number 1, number 2 best cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah,
and
you want a healthy Diggs for sure.
That was
to go along Stephon Gilmore. That probably hurt Dallas more than we realized last year.
100% it did.
Yeah, because that playoff game they lost. It's like they didn't have a secondary out there at times.
And just like I talked about rolling a coverage when a team only has one receiver, when a team has a cornerback like number 7, and you can just match him up on a guy and say, go take him out. And okay, he might have 6 catches for 48 yards. He might give that up. That's just in the nature of the game. But he's somebody you can go and he can go lock somebody down. He's such a luxury to have. There's not 32 legitimate cover corners that play in it. Just like there's not 32 legitimate quarterbacks. They might have quarterback by their name, but there's a handful of them out there that are struggling. Same thing with cornerbacks, man. To me, it's the toughest position in all of sports to play. Besides hitting a breaking ball in baseball, but in football, you're covering a world-class athlete, a thoroughbred, a racehorse, and he knows the play. So you got to scout, you got to study, you got to know kind of down and distance. The more you can know, but you're just reacting to him, and whatever he does, you have to cover him. It's those cornerbacks are just highly, highly athletic. Then you got I see Ezekiel Elliott back with the 49ers. That'd be I don't know. He's towards the end of it. He can be a complimentary piece, I think. He catches the ball well, screen game, picks up blocks. There's definitely a path for Zeke to play where, you try to say 8 touches a game, I don't know, 21 plays, something like that, and then maybe you can use them here and there if somebody else can't go. But who's the other running back that the Cowboys have?
Rico Dowdle.
So they're struggling
and then
in the
Deuce
backfield.
Vaughn. Yeah,
I like Deuce Vaughn, but yeah.
They're not really. Yeah, bringing back Zeke doesn't really move the needle for me. I think he's only like 32 or something like that. Or actually, no, I think he's only like 28 or 29. I don't know why I said 32, but he kind of plays a different style than he did when he was a rookie. He doesn't have the same burst. He's really good when you need like a yard or two, but I'm hoping he kind of takes a step forward this year and gets like a rejuvenation of confidence and energy now that he's back on Dallas, because I know he wants to be on Dallas. And also the defensive coordinator situation there with Mike Zimmer, I want to see how that philosophy changes or whatever, because, they've had good defenses with Dan Quinn, but it seems like they just weren't very consistent. It didn't really pan out. So, and you don't want to have games like you did in the playoffs last year where it's like, okay, did they even have a defense out there at times? But like I said, there hasn't been really many moves right now that gives me confidence Dallas is going to be a real contender. I know they're always going to be in the conversation for a Super Bowl, but I'm sick of just them being in the conversation. They need to start making some moves. Yeah, making some moves to really have a reason to take them seriously. And I know a lot of people think as long as Dak's the quarterback, they're never going to be really contenders, and they may be right about that. But looks like we got him for another year. And I don't know, after this year, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of confidence that Dak will be back.
Yeah, I think they'll work it out. And like I said, it's who do you get if you let go of Dak? I'll tell you what Dallas did do last year. They gave the Green Bay Packers, that fan base, just absolute belief and hope. I mean, after they saw Jordan Love just cut up the Cowboys, it's like that's all Green Bay's talking about all summer. How good is Jordan Love and how Green Bay's going to continue to grow and go. So that's something they did do, but. You know, Dallas won 12 games 3 years in a row, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's go. We got some phone calls. Let's pay some bills first, and then we'll take these 2 phone calls in the next segment. So we'll be back right after this.
This is halftime.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches, and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Hello, this is Mike Giacomo at Arvest Bank, inviting you to join us in the fight against hunger during Arvest's 14th annual Million Meals campaign. All the money goes directly to our communities, and there is no amount too small. Even just $1 provides 5 meals to those in need. Now, through the end of the month, you can easily make a monetary contribution at your nearest Arvest branch. You can also donate online at arvest.com/millionmeals. And if you're an Arvest customer, you can go directly to Arvest Go mobile app. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
Pay attention, this happens fast. You're on the forklift in your warehouse when it breaks down. You call Medley Equipment Company. Talk to Debbie. Hello. Debbie tells you they'll get you moving again. Debbie talks to a service tech. Yep, I can do it. Tech says when they can be there. That nice Debbie lady calls you back. Hello. Saying your forklift will be fixed in a few hours. Nice. Pretty fast, right? We're just trying to keep up because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
had love since the day I saw the cat at my door. So I came into you, sweet lady, answering your mystical call. Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. Same cat with them evil eyes, and I knew it was a spell she cast.
She comes back into halftime live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, back here this beautiful Tuesday, myself and C Unit on the controls. Phil Elson, some much needed R&R, the hardest working man in Arkansas sports. Hanging out a little bit. He'll be back with us Thursday. So for everybody missing Phil, he'll be back Thursday. We've got a fun show going on so far. We've been all over the sports world. It's a good time in sports. That's for sure right now. I know it kind of a little downtime, but you got some golf tournaments coming up that are going to be fun. You just had the Champions League final. Christian, I know that they got the transfer portal in soccer going on. I know you don't even watch it, but they got that Mbappe, who is the best player in the world.
I've heard of him.
Let's just say he's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant had a short period of his life where he was the number one basketball player on this planet. Like, he was the best player. Mbappe has a short period of his life where he's the number one football player on this planet. Mbappe leaving PSG, going to Real Madrid, who just won the Champions League final. Kevin Durant leaving his squad. Well, I don't even know where he left from, but was it Oklahoma City? Leaving Oklahoma City
to Golden State,
to go to Golden State,
then Brooklyn.
The team, but my point is, the team that just won the championship just went and got the best player. Real Madrid just did that, and going out and killing Mbappe. So there's it's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, the names that come to my mind is Messi and Ronaldo, but aren't they getting kind of older?
They're a little long in the tooth. They're Drew Brees and Tom Brady. That's right.
Maybe Mbappe's kind of the newer,
he's Tyreek Hill,
the new up and comer.
Yeah, and they got Jude Bellingham. I mean, Real Madrid, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo.
What about De Bruyne? I know De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne. He's the Belgium James Bond. So when you think of James Bond and then you think of a Belgium, that's Kevin De Bruyne. He's 0017. And that dude is the best midfielder. Luka Modric's the last guy not named, Ronaldo or Messi to win a Ballon d'Or. Kevin De Bruyne's that good. Like, he could 100%.
Is Ibrahimovic still up there?
This is Zlatan.
Yeah.
So Zlatan went to the LA Galaxy, and he took out a page in the LA Times on the back page, and all it did was say, "You're welcome." Right when he signed. Zlatan is he's a different type of cat, man. He definitely knows how to get to the camera working. But yeah, it's big time for sure.
My brother's a huge soccer fan, so I know you and him would get along when it comes to soccer. he loves it.
Do we have time? No, we don't.
No.
We don't. We'll go. We got Tim in Fayetteville, Jesse in Springdale. We're coming right to you at the top of the hour. We coming your way. Then we get Bill King at 12:15, and more people. If y'all want to get in with us, please do. 877-377-693 on the McClarty Daniel hotline, and we'll be back right after this.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, Price Check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal Price Check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Summer camp, vacation, travel baseball, repeat. Family reunion, lake time, I'm beat. A parent in the summertime is a glorified chauffeur, but if you find yourself in a fender bender, you'll need a good lawyer. I'm Jackie Mock. With 12 years of experience in insurance and car wreck cases, I can help get you back on the road for more summer fun. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Now we will share a lifetime of the fondest memories.
Celebrate freedom and a new RV from Camping World in Van Buren, Arkansas. For a limited time, get into a new RV starting at just $104 per month and see America for less. As part of America's #1 RV network, we've got an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. Buy with confidence at Camping World, knowing every RV comes with a 3-year Good Sam Elite membership and access to our nationwide service network. Make sure your next summer adventure is the best one yet. Click, call, or visit Camping World in Van Buren today. Certain restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith. Perhaps the world.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the clouds will increase. Chance of seeing some scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, or high temperatures today, low to mid 80s. Tonight, a chance of showers and scattered thunderstorms, and overnight low upper 60s to near 70. And another round of showers and thunderstorms Wednesday, highs near 85 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 86 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Smith, I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, Matt Jones, man, take it to the house.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
For one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
All right. Man, was that 120 minutes to down, 60 minutes to go, and then you'll have the fan favorites, Ruskin and Zach, coming up after this. So only one more hour to wait for all the listeners out there. Myself, C Unit on the boards, Phil Elson, much needed R&R. And we're just hanging out, having a good time today, talking a little sports, just keeping it going on this beautiful summer, June 4th. Let's do it. Let's go to the phone lines. We got Tim in Fayetteville. Tim, what's up, man?
Hey, first of all, first time caller. Love the show. Love the music. I don't know who puts that together, but
Matt Jones.
It's a collaborative effort.
Awesome. Secondly, soccer. Love the soccer talk. I wish there was some place in this region to watch soccer with other people. There's not a lot of
with like-minded, right?
But I love soccer.
Who's your squad?
Liverpool.
I like it. Okay.
And, Tottenham Hotspur is second, but Real Madrid, great to see them win. I actually have a password named after Mbappe, just so I can remember. But anyway, my question is about baseball. I'm not a big. I didn't go to Arkansas, but so I have no right to talk about it. But the baseball season ended obviously disappointing, and but I'm just wondering from your perspective, two things. One is it seems like to me, Van Horn likes the smaller players or the mid-sized players. We don't have any big bomber guys, on our lineup that you're scared of. I mean, and obviously we have some guys that can hit, but you look at all these other teams that have advanced or they're moving on, and Vanderbilt even, they seem to have a bigger folks at first base, at third base, and catcher maybe even that can just crush the ball. And I don't know that we have that in our lineup. And secondly, I would say, and then I'll hang up and listen, is there something to the momentum you have going into the tournament? And it seemed like Arkansas came in having lost 7 of 8, and then they just didn't really care about the SEC tournament. And I know you don't want to play all your cards there, but don't you want to try to get some momentum going in? And that just disappointed me the way we just tune out, Don. Okay, we'll just rest up for the tournament. Well, you don't have any momentum at that point. And so I'd just be interested in your perspective on those two things. Thanks. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you. Hudson White looks the part. You want to talk about players. Peyton Holt looks the part, but I get your point. That third baseman from A&M, I mean, you look the center fielder at Mississippi State. Yeah, it goes down the teams, and you see other dudes, and you're like, man, he's kind of built like a strong safety, and we got guys that are built like Smush Parker. I totally get your point. They're boys becoming men. There's skill and there's talent there, and it's kind of we had Chuck on earlier talking about the NIL and strategy and philosophy and how to get some of those guys up there on the hill. And what do you prioritize? I would prioritize pitching. That would be the first thing that I'd be trying to get if I'm building a baseball team. It would be pitching.
Can't have enough pitching.
Yeah, and so it's kind of where are you going to spend your money, where are you going, and I think Dave's going to get it right again, and he had us there. He had us there just an out away from winning the title, and I think there's no reason not to believe that he can't kind of get that formula and get it going on, and we can't be back there. I think he's going to be our head ball coach for the next, through 2030. So I think he's going to have time. He has time to, even farther than that. But I'm just saying that like he's going to be there to get it going on. What was his second question, C Unit?
I'm not totally sure. Kind of slipped my mind there.
We had there was talent. Oh yeah, okay.
The
second, no question about it. I'm with you. I do not like limping into the postseason. I'm a big believer in momentum. I'm not in that locker room. I'm not in those meeting rooms. I don't know how the mindset and how they go about it. But I was taught at a young age, if they're keeping score, we're competing, and we're going to go out there and try to win every game. I don't think they let go of the rope. They were playing tough opponents to as far as our last 10 games. I don't believe in it as far as going to the SEC tournament and not trying. I don't know that I saw that, but I'm with you. I think the best time to be playing well is at the end of the season, right before the tournament starts. And we were winning those one-run games, and we were doing some of the little things early in the year. And it's better talent, whatever you want to say, and we still won the SEC West. So you look back on it, and it was a successful season. There's only one champion, and if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. These kids hold their heads up high, man. They went out there and they fought hard. They played together. We just didn't make enough plays, and that's all there is to it.
I wonder if it just took too much out of them. Winning the West, going through an SEC schedule, winning 20 games in the SEC kind of wears you on you a little bit. And once postseason got here, it was just kind of like, I don't know, they were just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's just one of those deals where we didn't make enough plays to get it done. I think a little bit of it's in between the ears because I do think there's talent there. I think when guys got on base, maybe there was a little different approach, or you kind of got a little more tight instead of getting up there and swinging free because we how. When you're not scoring a lot of runs, it's like the same thing in football. If you're not getting a lot of points, not scoring a lot of touchdowns, then you start kind of pressing a little bit. You're like, man, we got to get to 24 points, give our defense a chance. And the same thing in baseball. It's like, man, we got to hit some of these runners in to give our pitchers, give us a chance to win the game. And then you start overextending yourself and not just letting cream rise to the top, because I do think there's a little bit of talent on this team.
Without a doubt.
Well, we're going to have a lot more baseball talk coming up. You get UConn and Florida State on Friday, West Virginia, North Carolina, Kansas State, Virginia, Evansville, Tennessee. I wonder, Christian, will you be watching any more of this college baseball, or are you kind of spent now that the Hogs are out?
I'm kind of spent. I definitely don't think I'm going to watch many of the super regional games. You get into Omaha when it's down to 8 teams, kind of dwindles down to maybe 4 teams. I'll probably start watching, just kind of depending on who's in it. It would help to see like a team we never would have expected to be in it. That would kind of get my interest back into it. A team like UConn making it this far. I mean, they may not advance to Omaha, but that would be pretty crazy to see UConn baseball in Omaha.
Yeah, Florida with 28 losses, and then there's 3 teams, Christian. Kansas State, UConn, and Evansville with 24 losses. All 3 of those teams making it to a super regional. So
it would be an all-time upset if Evansville beat Tennessee. I mean, that's just
Tennessee's the number 1 team in the
country.
country.
They're not Notre Dame. They're not the Notre Dame team that went in there and beat Tennessee. That was a huge upset a couple years ago, but this is Evansville. I don't think they've even done well against the SEC this year when they played them. So I think Mississippi State even swept them. But they're hot right now. They're playing good, but they're going to run into a really good team in Tennessee this week, and it'll be interesting to see if they can get a game. And if they can get a game, you never know.
And we had I think it was Jesse from Springdale. He texted in talking a little NBA draft, and he's a Spurs fan.
Yep.
And he wants to know what would you do? What are the Spurs picking? 4th, 3rd overall?
4th.
If Donovan Klingen's there, that's who I think I take if I'm the Spurs, to go with Wemby. And I say this because of this reason why. Wemby's not a true back-to-the-basket guy. He wants to float around. He's a unicorn.
He's like Porzingis, kind of.
Donovan, Porzingis wishes he could be as good as Wemby when it's all said and done.
True.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I get what Klingen is going to come in, and he's going to be a defensive guy that's going to help solidify the paint and then you're going to be able to switch other things. I always thought Donovan Klingen is the better pro prospect than Zach Edey. And that's who I'm taking if I'm the Spurs. And you get it. Now, they might have some Euro that I don't know about right now. So you got to wait and look. There's 3 guys from France that are in the top 10 C unit. So I haven't seen these kids play. I don't know. There's another kid from Serbia. He's named Nikola, and I think the last guy from Serbia named Nikola
turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good. So I haven't seen all these Euros play yet.
That's a good point, man. The European style of play and the players now, it seems like it's where it's at. I mean, you had Jokic win it last year, and then Wembanyama is obviously a European player, and then Luka, what he's doing.
Giannis. I mean, you look at the game, and some of the best players are from the Euroland. No question about it.
I want to say even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, isn't he Canadian? But
look at France trying to peak at the right time. The Olympics are in France this year, and they got 3 guys in the top 10. They're going to have a young team playing on that Olympic team. That's Tony Parker. I think he's kind of running some of that. And speaking of the Spurs C unit, I wouldn't be surprised if they take another Euro when you're looking at all this.
Well, you think about when when they had Ginobili and a player like that.
They had Marco Bellinelli. They had all sorts of
Duncan.
all sorts of Euros. Stephen Castle. Now he's the true freshman from UConn that was on that national championship winning team. He's so raw, but there were times where he's the best athlete on the floor that national championship game, watching that. So I think his upside is tremendous. I think he's going to be okay and have a chance. He's a guy that he's not going to play next year and make anything in the NBA. Like but he's going to be a top 10 pick. So he's going to come out and he's just going to go through. You're not going to see him play for 4 years. Think of Tyrese Maxey from Philadelphia. It took him 3 years in a playoff before. Then you're like, oh my goodness, this dude is so good, And so I think that's just kind of they disappear for a little bit. You talk about Brandon Miller, Nick Smith, Anthony Black, last year's first. You don't see those guys but here in a couple years, that's just part of the process now. When they get over there, it just takes them a little bit to get going.
Yeah, you're right. It takes a while to materialize. I mean, most players aren't like Luka and Jokic. Like as soon as they get in the league, they're pretty much.
Well, Luka
had a head start.
Yeah, he was a pro at 13. They start a little bit soon over there, and that's what I mean. Castle, he's so athletic and so raw. You'd like to just see him develop a little bit more, and then when he goes to the next level, there are people that are more developed than him. So it's just kind of you're waiting your turn, and you're still getting in your game. He's still a student. You're still figuring it out. But that's just how the NBA goes right now. If you got a guy that you think can be up there and be a franchise, you take him early. They take him early over there. Well, we got Bill King coming up. We'll kind of dive back into some college baseball. If y'all got any questions for Bill King, please feel free to text it in to the McLarty Daniel hotline, and we'll be back right after this.
This is halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Would you guys skydive? Or you got too much to lose? I would, because I don't have anything to lose.
About 10 years ago, they came in here for some TV game, and I went up with Todd Blackledge. We were on a military plane. Yeah, I was going to do it. Now, that was 15 years ago. There's not a chance in hell I'd do it now.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fitzman. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fitzman can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fitzman can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fitzman and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jim. They have several locations in the Arkansas area, but I specifically want to talk to you about Jim Mart number 10. Great deli. My goodness. Great lunch, great dinner. But have you had the breakfast yet? It's the best in town. And they have that convenient drive-through window. So when you're heading north or south on 540, take exit number 6 for Jim Mart number 10. 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith. Jim, the leading gas station and convenience store in the area.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Someone knocking at the door. Somebody ringing the bell. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor, open the door. Let a man. Yeah. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody ringing the bell. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor, open the door. Let a man.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, back here, halftime. A couple more segments left on this beautiful Tuesday. Myself, C-Unit on the controls, man in the booth, Phil Elson. He'll be back Thursday with us, so getting him some R&R. And somebody who usually joins us on Tuesdays, Mr. Bill King. How's it going, Bill?
Hey, Matt. Doing good, man. How about you?
Man, life's good for us over here in Razorback land. We're still kind of picking up the pieces a little bit, kind of trying to make sense of, the season that was and kind of how it's, it started off good. And then, it's kind of like reading a book and it was a great book. And then that last 2 chapters, you're just like, oh my goodness, that the ending was just horrible. But then you're trying to figure this out and saying, you know what, we did have a good season. We did have a successful season. Only one team each year wins Omaha. How would you sum up Arkansas Razorback baseball this year?
Matt Jones as a quarterback usually had a pretty attractive stat sheet, right? And it wasn't, 180 yards rushing and 2 yards passing, right? There was some balance in there, and at times we weren't getting that out of the Arkansas hitting. And look, there's a million different things we can point to, but at the end of the day, I think that was the weakness on the team. It was the weakness, and they had a phenomenal pitching staff, likely the best in the country, and they weren't able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, that has a little bit to do, and I think too, Bill, and I was kind of trying to translate it to football. When you have a team that an offense that maybe gets snagged in at times, or kind of struggles to get first downs, or struggles to get touchdowns, and then you start pressing a little bit. Did you see any of that out of this Arkansas team where, man, we'd get a guy on second base, and that's like being 3rd and 4. You got to have a good percentages on your third downs. You just got to bat over. Usually that team, if you're over 50% on your third downs, you win the game. And that's how kind of I saw this offense this year. We'd get a runner there. We just couldn't quite figure out how to get him in.
Get the ball at the 20, you get it to the 8. And you can't score a touchdown. And it gets in your head, right? It literally gets in your head. This team is not converting in the red zone for whatever reason. Yes. It's got to be in your head. There have to be mental struggles because everything's contagious. And struggling in a certain part of your hitting, whether it's getting people home, driving people home, leaving them on base, that is a contagious aspect of that game. It's incredibly cerebral game, as we know. I remember as a kid, the old guys used to always say it's a thinking man's game. And you could say that about any sport, but baseball is very much a thinking man's game for sure.
Well, and two, you got to have different ways to beat teams, you know, and I think that's to your point when you just do one thing, and it's okay if you can do that one thing exceptionally well and be top 3 at it. But yeah, I get your point. Who right now going into these super regionals? I've been looking at these and trying to look at some of these matchups, and you know, Tennessee. What's it been? 25 years since the number 1 team has won this thing, and you're looking at, man, Kentucky, Oregon State going through. How do you kind of handicap these super regionals? What kind of couple of these matchups are you looking forward to?
I look, I'm a Southern shill. I like Georgia hasn't been to the Super since 2008. And Georgia, actually, I don't know how many people know, Georgia's won a national championship in baseball. It's 1990.
Mm-hmm.
They won a national championship. You can win big there. Now, they haven't cared a whole lot until this year. They hired Wes Johnson off that LSU staff, who was the pitching coach. And he's done a phenomenal job. And they're playing NC State, which is a really good baseball program. NC State in 2001 was at the College World Series. There were only 4 teams left. And remember, they had to cancel because of a COVID outbreak. They're about to play Vanderbilt to see who gets to go to the championship. And they had to cancel. They had to go home. One of the weirdest things ever during the tournament. Vandy's about to play them, and I think either the day before or that morning, they said, we can't play. It's a very good baseball program. Tommy Tanks, the big third baseman for LSU, was a transfer from NC State. That one might not be, Matt, brand-wise across America, everybody's go-to, but it is for me. I think that was interesting.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that one as well. So the one that I'll also look at, Bill, is this Virginia Kansas State, because you know you kind of picture the Hogs being there, but now it's Kansas State. You give Kansas State a shot against the Cavaliers
in baseball, as opposed to football, where upsets, particularly on that level, aren't that common. The media wants you to think they are, but they're not. Baseball truly is a situation where you got to be careful discounting anybody. Evansville as a 4 seed is alive, right? That would never happen in football.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Evansville equivalent in football. There's no Southwest Missouri State or whoever that was that beat Arkansas. There's no football equivalent of that. That would be the top 3 team. So, yeah, I would give – I saw Kansas State play early against Tennessee, and Tennessee had one kid who had like 3 or 4 home runs, just one game. But that's a very good team, no doubt.
Which one of these teams, Bill, I'm going to kind of ask you a couple. Which one of these teams left? It's kind of like a pitching, defense, hitting type of thing. So out of these, I guess, 16 teams that are left, who's the best hitting team left in this tournament?
Oh, it's Tennessee before the tournament and during the tournament and after the tournament. It's not even close.
Who's the best pitching staff left out of these 16 teams?
You're saying I can't say Arkansas, right?
We're at home, yeah.
Boy, let me think that through. Maybe I'd say A&M's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team other than Tennessee. They're the odds-on favorite.
Okay.
To win it. They're right at the top. I would say A&M I would throw in there. Kentucky's very steady in that capacity. The West Coast, I haven't seen Oregon State enough. Oregon State's got a kid who's going to be in the top 5 in the draft, but I don't know a whole lot about their pitching to be smart enough to answer the question.
I got you. We played Oregon State in that Arlington deal to start the season, and
right.
I want to say we had our ace Hagen Smith out there, and they had theirs, and it was like a 0-0 game for 8 innings or something. Like it was.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was one of those. And that was kind of my next question I was going to ask you, Bill. Like I was thinking of March Madness, and you kind of answered it for me. Is it harder to win this baseball College World Series than it is to win March Madness in basketball? Because you kind of handicap. And I know last year UConn, I mean, they beat everybody by double digits, but they're the favorite. Where it's been 25 years since the favorites won in Omaha.
I think it is more difficult. I really do. The baseball gods don't like you being the 1 seed. and winning it. And I'll tell you, you want a Cinderella, and again, it's Florida, the brand. But 2 years ago, Ole Miss was the last team to get in. They looked terrible. They ended up winning the thing. Matter of fact, they won the entire thing convincingly. There was not even a game. I think they lost one game the whole way in the World Series. But there was no game when they were threatened to lose. It was amazing, and they gave no impressions that they were capable of that. Florida, most people felt like wouldn't even get in, and they're now in the Supers. Now, I'm not equating them and suggesting they could do what Ole Miss does, but this is Florida, and they do have dudes. That one's interesting, too.
Let's go back to the Razorbacks real quick, and so now that we've kind of see what's there, we kind of see all day it seems like the last 2 days that's what everybody wants to talk about. Where do you want to see, like, if you're a Razorback fan, what type of player who and you know, I've been talking to baseball guys and they say pitching is definitely the priority. You have to have pitching. But what else? What is Arkansas missing? Is it just these dudes that can just bomb it? Is it some speed? Is it some athletic ability? But what are we missing on the offensive end? What do you think Arkansas needs to do if we want to get kind of past this hump and make it back to Omaha?
Arkansas is one of the best baseball recruiting schools on the planet, and that has been established. This new era of not only name, image, likeness, but the transfer portal. There's already 12 to 1,500 kids, something like that, in the portal the last 2 days. There's dudes everywhere. There's guys with mid to high 90 fastballs, curveballs, home run hitters, guys that hit 380. I would say I'm not real worried about their pitching. I'm never real worried about their pitching. I would say you need to bring in some offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need to bring in some bats that have some thunder a little more consistently up and down. And there are guys all over this portal, and there are going to be more. I mean, think about it. You've still got 16 teams involved. I don't know who's leaving, but there's going to be some players off those teams that are currently occupied that are probably getting the portal too, maybe because they don't feel like they're getting handled right. But it's going to be, this could be a very fun baseball transfer portal, way more fun than this last 2-week portal was. Way more.
Yeah, that's crazy. Already 1,500 guys.
Something like that. Yeah.
So the South Carolina, I'll leave it with this. South Carolina let go their ball coach. Who do you think is the next South Carolina manager there?
You heard the East Carolina coach, even though a lot of people have tried to hire him, bigger names, and he hasn't left before. The Louisville coach is really good. He's not happy there.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago, he had a press conference talking about how unhappy. Tennessee's third base coach, Josh Elander, is, I'd say, the number one hotshot assistant in America. He's their hitting coach, third base coach. He's 30. He's a dynamic recruiter. He's not going to be on Rocky Top for long. That's another name I would watch out for.
Right on, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You got NBA playoffs. I know you don't check too much in that, but then you get the College World Series going and golf's going. I mean, it's a good time, even though it's a downtime a little bit. It's still a lot of stuff going on in the sports world.
Hey, Matt, I didn't score 3,000 points in basketball in high school. I scored 3 points. You scored 3,000. That's why I don't watch.
Bill, man, thank you so much for your time on this Tuesday.
All right. Yep. Thank you.
That's the great Bill King, man. It's always fun chatting with them and getting a little outside perspective, a little more national, but still keeping it in the South. He knows his baseball, and so it's always a joy. Thank you so much for Bill King joining us today. And if any listeners out there, we couldn't do this show without you guys. If y'all want to get in, we got 2 segments left on this beautiful Tuesday. Please do. McClarty Daniel hotlines are open, 877-377-6963. We'll be back after this.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
Celebrate freedom in a new RV from Camping World in Van Buren, Arkansas. For a limited time, get into a new RV starting at just $104 per month and see America for less. As part of America's #1 RV network, we've got an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. Buy with confidence at Camping World, knowing every RV comes with a 3-year Good Sam Elite membership and access to our nationwide service network. Make sure your next summer adventure is the best one yet. Click, call, or visit Camping World in Van Buren today. Certain restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Summer camp, vacation, travel baseball, repeat. Family reunion, lake time, I'm beat. A parent in the summertime is a glorified chauffeur, but if you find yourself in a fender bender, you'll need a good lawyer. I'm Jackie Mock. With 12 years of experience in insurance and car wreck cases, I can help get you back on the road for more summer fun. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Now we will share a lifetime of the fondest memories.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Barrels and Brews Bottle Shop at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing has everything you need for your favorite activities. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you with the current specials and our new arrivals of must-have bourbons and whiskeys. Hit the cooler for some of the coldest beer in town or choose from our large selection of amazing wines. Order online or call ahead Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Hub in Chaffee Crossing. Barrels and Brews, voted best of the best in Fort Smith. It will put a smile on your face.
When it's time for breakfast, Calico County is making it all from scratch. You got the dedicated early morning crew at Calico are cooking up and serving buttermilk pancakes, moist biscuits, rich waffles, country fried potatoes, 3 types of gravy, and of course their famous cinnamon rolls and much more. They serve all of this and a lot more 7 days a week until 11 a.m. Stop in, call ahead, or get it to go. Or just come by and pick up a dozen cinnamon rolls for the office. For breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, roll on into Calico County. They're home cooking good. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Hello, this is Mike Jackamore at Arvest Bank, inviting you to join us in the fight against hunger during Arvest's 14th annual Million Meals campaign. All the money goes directly to our communities, and there is no amount too small. Even just $1 provides 5 meals to those in need. Now, through the end of the month, you can easily make a monetary contribution at your nearest Arvest branch. You can also donate online at arvest.com/millionmeals. And if you're an Arvest customer, you can go directly to Arvest Go mobile app. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Chemical grows in the house. It's cold outside the farmhouse.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Oh my goodness, we've almost made it to the end. And myself, I'm here with you for two more segments. C-Unit on the controls, crushing it today. Good work as always, C-Unit. Had a great lineup of guests today. Bill King was just with us. Always enjoy talking with him. Alyssa was with us in hour 2. And the great Chuck Barrett in hour 1. Man, we've been talking all sorts of sports talk. One of the things I wanted to get into, and if anybody wants to get in with us these last two segments, please do 877-377-6963 on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. One of the things I really wanted to get into, or just touch on, talk about, and kind of get y'all's thoughts out there, is the whole Caitlin Clark saga, the whole thing that's going on. Number 1 overall pick in the draft, kind of getting beat up a little bit, and not only getting beat up a little bit, because I understand a hard foul, I understand playing tough, I understand rookies. Welcome to the league. I get all that. But what I don't get is the jealousy, the pettiness, the maliciousness. It's like girls are meaner than guys. Which Caitlin Clark never said she's the Messiah. Never said she's coming in to save basketball. The media might have this projection of her and kind of that is probably more guilty about it than anything. So I don't understand what this hatred, what this dislike.
Just play ball.
And why it's so malicious. Why are we trying to hurt someone instead of, I get competing and playing hard. Well, another thing I don't get is, where are her teammates at in all this? The last thing I saw, some girl comes up and hip checks her while she's not looking, and it's a dead ball. And the girl that's holding the ball that's going to pass her to it just drops the ball and walks on over there. Where is this? I got my brother, I got my sister's back, I'm my teammate. That's the thing that I'm used to. And has that gone away where we don't have her?
They may be jealous of her too, just because they're on their.
Well, then you got to go to a different team.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, just play ball. That's the way I see it. I mean, if you're wanting to show her the ropes and make her earn her spot, in WNBA, I understand that, but you don't have to go up and knock her to the ground every play. Just play basketball.
Yeah, it's and that's,
I mean, that's really all you got to do.
That's what that's kind of how I see it. It's just been it's been weird. It seems like it's been going on too long as well. Like, nip this in the bud, man. Like if my as a teammate, whether you're in junior high, whether you're in high school, whether you're in college or the top level, somebody's just hitting your teammate. Somebody's just maliciously crushing your team. You step up and you have your teammates back, and that's what you kind of don't see right there. So it's kind of been a little weird. But that's just one thing I wanted to get into. Lot of.
If you're jealous of her because of her talent, just get better yourself. Just work on yourself.
Yeah, where's the animosity at? I get wanting to compete, but there's a right way to do it. There's a right way to do it. And it's kind of like the NBA in the 70s, Christian. It's like, man, a young guy comes in and they're throwing punches and they're like, oh, that's just a technical foul. Where are the officials too? How did the officials see that right there and call that a common foul? I mean, there's no play on the ball. The player's not even looking. I mean, that's ugh. Oh, well, all right, let's go Joe and Rogers. Joe.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, Joe?
Well, I have a concern. I'm worried about Bubba. Did he ever get rid of his hiccups?
Bubba's a fighter. He's a survivor. I'm pretty sure he tackled those hiccups and chewed them up and spit them out.
Okay. Well, I had that happen to me back a few years ago, and I had them for 4 days.
Oh my goodness! What'd you do? What happened when? So you went to sleep and then woke up and still had them?
Yeah, you could. It seems like to me that when you were sleeping, you might still have them some, but I was able to sleep, so they kind of calmed down.
Right.
When you were asleep. But then you'd wake up the next morning, they'd be right back. And so, but the thing that got rid of them was I was having Las Palmas here. They had these really hot jalapeno poppers, the jalapenos de Diablo or whatever. But I ate one of those things, and all of a sudden, they were really hot. But boy, all of a sudden my hiccups just kind of went away. And then they came back a little bit later, so I had another one, and they were gone until the next day. And then they came back, and I had some Tabasco, and I doused whatever I was eating with Tabasco, and they went away and never came back.
Maybe
so
Bubba
I
needs
think
to
the
try that.
capsaicin probably has something to do with it. So
There you go. I mean, hey, I like jalapenos. Make a little jalapeno margarita or something, and see the hiccups. Tell them goodbye.
but it's not a fun thing, I can tell you that. But I'm sure he'll be okay. So.
Cool, Joe. Thanks, man. Thanks for the phone call. Who do you tell me, Christian? Who we going to next?
Jacob in Fort Smith.
Jacob in Fort Smith. What's up, Jacob in Fort Smith?
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Hey, I was going to comment on the animosity for about the WNBA. You think the NIL money? I mean, the way they come, a couple like Angel Reese, and she's come into the league, and and she's already gotten hers. Has a lot to do with because like Angel Reese, she missed a post game interview the other day, and they're like, well, that's nothing to her, the fine, I mean, you think like the fact that they've been able to come in and already got what a lot of these other girls are trying to attain financially, that plays a big part.
That's a good point. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for the call, Jacob. I do not think that is much of a part, because if you don't stay sharp and you don't show up to practice and you're not still working at it, you're not going to be in the league for long. And so I think, I don't know that WNBA now. Does Angel Reese have a 7-figure NIL deal or off the court deal? Yes. Angel Reese she's making more money off so if that's kind of to your point, that's she's making more money off the court than she is on it. Same with a lot of those girls. But I think there's still that desire, that want to. I think there's still that fire and hunger in those, because it's a tough league that if you don't show up and play, somebody's going to take your job. All right, we got one more phone call this segment. Let's do it. Steven in Natural Dam. What's up, Steven in Natural Dam?
Yep. Hey, thanks for having me. I just want to talk about that Caitlin Clark incident as well. She really brought the eyes to the WNBA more so than any player really before her to this point. So it's really, to me, it's not a good look for the league to have these veterans, bashing on her, and then for Angel Reese the other day to make that statement in her post game, that it's not just one player they're coming to watch. They're coming to watch me too. It just shows that she's jealous too. I feel like, and I just kind of want to get your take on that comment from Angel Reese and the jealousy. It's not a good look, and I hate it because I have an 11-year-old daughter, and they're watching this stuff, and I love that the women's game is growing and more eyes are getting on it, but this animosity is really not a good look for the league.
Thank you. Thank you for the call. Yeah, I just kind of wondered what you thought. It just seems like it should already been taken care of. Angel Reese, I hope she has success in all that. I'm not against her. But she's a young kid and she's figuring it out, and you got to think, when's the last time Angel Reese has heard the word no? So she's she's feeling herself. She's alpha. That's, when you're looking back at it, pride cometh before the fall. So maybe you want to chill out a little bit, have a little more humility. I think some of these girls, you see who they're talking about all the time, and it's like, well, I want to talk. What Toby Keith had that song, I want to talk about me. It's like, I like talking about you usually, but I want to talk about me. I think that's what they're getting. I think these girls, they want to talk about them, and there is something to it. I don't get the spitefulness, I don't get the maliciousness, and I don't get how one of her teammates doesn't come by with an elbow to one of those girls' jaws, and it's like, there you go. And it's like, if you mess with my lady, you mess with my teammates, this is what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said earlier, if there's animosity on her own team, like if there's girls on that team that maybe feel the same way as some of these other players, then that's not a good thing either.
No, it's a good thing. I mean, you got more people talking about the WNBA than you ever had in the history of the WNBA.
Yeah, what's the problem? I mean, are you just jealous it's not you?
They're all eating. Y'all are all eating from the same oat bag. So there's no reason to maliciously go out there and bang one of your teammates. It's just,
you should want to compete against the best.
That's right.
You shouldn't want to beat them up.
There's a right way to do it. There's a character issue, I
submission.
think. I just think there's a little bit of a character issue with some of these ladies that it's I mean, who's the leader? It starts with the head coach. It starts with that. Why is there? Remember when they had Bountygate, when that coach was trying to take out Brett Favre, and it's like, if you take him out, I'm going to give you an extra $20,000 bonus or what? I mean, it's kind of similar to that, where we don't need that in sport. Let these kids play and compete. All right. Well, what we do have is one more segment of this edition of Halftime. So let's pay some more bills, and then we'll come back and wrap this thing up.
This is Halftime.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, the Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. Don't forget to shop for Father's Day at the Solid Rock.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South C Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Dallas Street Dental. Refuse to compromise when it comes to replacing missing teeth. Dr. Bill Ligon at Dallas Street Dental can make your smile look, feel, and function almost exactly the way it did before you lost any teeth. In some cases, even better. Dental implants function like your natural teeth and make it possible for you to enjoy those juicy steaks this grilling season. Look younger and smile with confidence with dental implants from Dallas Street Dental. Schedule your free implant consultation today at 479-452-6600.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
What's on your to-do list today? Does it include looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? If so, come by and see us at Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer. Whatever your day brings, whatever job it is you need to complete, Wacker Newson Equipment is up to the task, and Sharp Equipment is here to help. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
The Lynx at Chaffee Crossing prides itself in providing award-winning barbecue. Whether you're craving ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, we can satisfy any appetite. Stop in and watch Razorback Baseball and enjoy everyday food and drink specials like $2 domestic beer or $3 premiums. The Lynx at Chaffee Crossing is here and ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Lynx at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Don't blink, don't peep, don't walk, can't leave, don't fall from 3 3 don't trip, sachet. Okay, sachet. Don't hit, don't play, don't snap, insane, don't rap, don't act your age, don't change your name. It's all the rage. Do less, don't kill, don't laugh at too smile, don't have a glass, don't stay a while, don't take a pic. Don't feel so sick.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
What you gonna do, Michael Scott? We gonna make your dreams come true. That's right. Back this last segment to wrap it up. Halftime, myself and the C Unit, Christian Johnston, on the controls, man. Fun show today, Christian. You crushed it today, man. Good work.
Thanks, man. And you're getting the hang of this. This
Don't start doing the
post
Phil
stuff.
Elson lie to me type stuff. Then I'll start thinking we're friends if you start lying to me, Christian.
Man, you are. It's like
it's gonna be a long year. It's gonna be a long year, man. We kind of put a bow. Are you kind of done? You kind of put a bow on the Razorback baseball season today. Like you kind of feel a little better about it, or I mean, it still hurts, but the fact that we're kind of a couple of days removed.
This didn't hurt as much as some seasons, just because you could kind of see.
You kind of saw it beforehand.
You could kind of see it
the
coming.
way we stumbled into the postseason. Yeah.
Yeah, it just felt like a slow, slow death. Like it was gonna. We knew it was gonna come.
Inevitable.
We didn't know when. Maybe in the super regionals, but it happened, and that just means next year start all over. Arkansas is going to be back. I mean, with Dave Van Horn as your coach, he's going to have you in the conversation. He's going to have you believing again. Next year will be just starting over, basically starting over with a new team. It'll be a brand new team.
Well,
literally every player on this roster, I think Chuck said that, and he's right, because all these players are probably going to try to go pro.
Gage Gackle is going to be your day one starter, and Aloy is going to be your shortstop. I think that's kind of what he was getting at. Yeah. Well, it was good show. A lot of NBA talk. Had some great guests. Shout out to Chuck, to Alyssa, and Bill for joining us today. Shout out to all of the listeners and all the fan and crowd participation. None of this show would be possible if it wasn't for you guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks for participating as well. And we're gonna get to do it all over again tomorrow, Christian. I know we got the Hall of Famer Clay Henry like we usually do. Are we gonna get Grant Hall tomorrow? Are we gonna have him early on? I think so. It should be a pretty regular show, minus the great Phil Elson, but Phil will be back Thursday.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, man.
Well, I'm looking forward to it too. Good work today. And again, thank you for everybody for listening, for participating. It was a fun show today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.